And we are back on the chosen baseball journey. Today's episode is a bittersweet, it's a love-hate episode. It's going to be our last episode of the podcast, but not the last episode of Karim Garcia, because we host another podcast, Chosen Life. It's a lifestyle podcast, and baseball is all lifestyle. So Kareem will continue on with me on lifestyle, but this will be the last chosen baseball journey. And because it's our last one, we have to make this a Hall of Fame episode. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you all to Caribbean Baseball Hall of Famer Karim Garcia. Karim, congratulations on that big honor.
Thank you very much. What can I say? I feel really honored of, from the Caribbean president and the owners of the different teams of the clubs in, Venezuela, Dominican, Mexico, Cuba, Panama, all those guys that participate in the Caribbean to chose me to be this year in the Hall of Fame over there in Mexico.
It's unbelievable. And I found out you sent me the word and I was like jumping for joy. I gotta ask you, when did you find out? How did you find out? How did that all go down? Did you expect this coming?
I knew, I mean, that I had a lot of Caribbean series. I played six of them. I played six different of them, and I won two championships. And I was in two teams, all stars from the Caribbean. So I knew that I had some numbers over there they were looking at, and I was hoping, eventually they at least thought about me. Well, I guess they did thought about me. They look at the numbers and they choose me this year to go to Mexico to do the introduction. So bringing the whole family over there, and I'm so happy, so glad that my kids get to see that because some people, when they put you in the Hall of Fame, they're not even here anymore. Unfortunately, they pass away, or they don't get to enjoy that the recognize. For me, it's great to bring my family.
It's amazing. I'm so happy for you, man. So well earned. I call you Mr. WBC. To me, I always see you as Mr. WBC, the legacy for Mexico, and you're so ingrained within your country, and you've supported them on so many levels that having you receive this award in Mexico, it must mean the world to you.
It is. It gives me goosebumps, just to know when they give me my play and I'm gonna go through the first pitch and I'm gonna do the whole stuff that you do when once you get the introduction over there to the Hall of Fame of the Caribbean. And I can't wait. And I'm still working on my speech right now to because I have to give a speech. It's gonna be short and sweet, but I will be thanking a lot of people that got me to the point that I am right now in my life and in my career. That they make an impact on me.
Is the speech going to be fully in Spanish?
It is.
I figured Caribbean World Series, there's no English going on there for
None.
sure. But you think about the Caribbean World Series and the legacy and how many players have gone to play there and how many careers it has revived, how many careers it's flourished. Such a rich, deep history. You're going to be part of it forever and so well deserved. I got to ask you, like, getting this honor and now, reflecting on your career some more. I tell every time there's a coaching hire in Major League Baseball, I always send it to you and I'm telling you, Kareem, why aren't you going? Why aren't you going? You've forgotten more about hitting than most people will ever know, man. And I still think you're going to strap on that jersey again and you're going to be back in the major leagues and you will be coaching, hitting. I just see it happening.
I hope it does actually because I love hitting. I love talking about hitting and looking for certain things when you are at the game, things that the regular guys don't see or the regular fans. And I love to explain to them how to look at it and how to approach the mental parts and then the hitting part, which is just your normal mechanics, because you don't change the guys on mechanics, you gotta change it from the head. And after that, the brain will get to your body to do the movements that you need to do. So that's the things that I like to do with certain guys that I talk to about baseball.
Is there a certain person or persons, people that from the time you were a youngster to the time you came to the major leagues, who got you to be so mentally strong and sound? Like who was your biggest influence that helped you with the mental side of the game?
Well, the first one was my father. He played baseball too, professional for 17 years in Mexico. And he showed me the not only the mental side, but the tough side. Because when I was younger, they send you to go hit against the baseball machine, right? And sometimes those things get a little wild and you get hit on the elbow, on the side, and like you want to get out because you get hit. And he's like, hang on. You're gonna get a lot of those in your career. Stay there and hit again. And it's just preparing you not to be in mean, it's just preparing me mentally being tough. So just chase whatever just happened to you and do it again and continue to do so. The pain will go away, but the strength in your head will never, go away once you start working on it.
Love that. Love that. So shout out to your dad and that he brought you to where you are. And I gotta ask you, as because as you were finding out, a couple of other former major league players found out they're going to be heading to Cooperstown, so it's a very big Hall of Fame time. Dick Allen, Dave Parker. Did not follow Allen's career much, I will admit. Dave Parker, one of my favorite players of all time. Followed him for a long, long time from his Reds days and got to research his Pirates days because based on my age, I wasn't around. I was like two when he won the World Series back in Pittsburgh. Did you get to interact ever with Dave Parker? Any stories on him as far as you know?
No, you know what? I love watching Dave Parker because when he hits a home run, so he hit a bombs and he will go to close to second base and he will like lean to the side and start shoving his arm like this and get on the throw. Yeah, I love it. I love watching him. So I did get to watch him on TV. I was in Mexico, so never got to talk to him. And when I was in the major leagues, never had the opportunity to speak to him.
Dave Parker, the Cobra. I have two interactions with Dave Parker, funny enough. So he's playing for Milwaukee at the time. Tried to get his autograph. I'm at the hotel. He was at the Sheraton at the time. He does not sign for anybody, runs into the cab, and he pulls out, he has a stack of money. And the $50 bill just came out, the red 50s in Toronto, Canada. And so the Canadian money, he's flipping and he's like laughing at this money. And he called it Monopoly money. He was like, it's coming from the States, right? And that game, he got 3 home runs against the Blue Jays. I see him at the hotel after the game, still not signing. I told him that I'm a huge fan of his, and I said, "Man, 3 home runs, we're all celebrating. Come on." He came and he signed, so it was okay. And then years later, I go to Pittsburgh for the All-Star game, and this would have been in about 20, 2000, sorry, 2006, somewhere around there. Pittsburgh hosted the All-Star game. I was there. I was there at the home run derby. I was there at the after party. There's a after party All-Star game before the game, but after the home run derby. And a bunch of guys are all around there. I remember Contreras was there, the White Sox Yankees pitcher. He was wearing a white suit. Everybody was getting his autograph. I'm at the memorabilia store, and who do I bump into? Dave Parker, out of all people. And he comes to me. He goes, "Hello." I go, "Mr. Parker, nice to see you again." And he says to me, "Somebody wants to take a picture. Do you mind taking a picture for me and my friend here?" I said, "Sure." So Parker asked me for it. So I take a picture for him, and I said, "By the way, while we're here, can you take a picture with me?" And he is towering. He's a big boy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And, he was a guy that, man, he was a five-tool player. Obviously, there's his career, put on some weight, ended up being a DH. And I think the DH thing, and then he had a little bit of a drug scandal, which we won't talk about. But at the end of the day, played 19 years in Major League Baseball, great numbers. Took him this long. I'm just glad he got to do it while he was alive. I know he's had health issues and it was touch and go for a while, but he's gonna live to see himself in the Hall of Fame, and that's a really big deal. If you're gonna put the guy in the Hall of Fame, I would say it's really nice that they can live to see it.
Exactly. That's what I just mentioned right now. Why to put someone when he passes away to now you make it to the Hall of Fame for what? For the family, for something else? I mean, for you making you feel better at that point when you're supposed to get someone beforehand that you knew that has the numbers, played the long career. I mean, you mentioned it, whatever it is. He's a guy that is he's a 290 hitter, lifetime and 6'5". I mean, he's pretty big playing outfield.
Had Gold Gloves, had awards. The guy did it all.
MVP. 1978 has an MVP too. So seven-time All-Star. I mean, you get all the numbers there to be beforehand on the Hall of Fame.
You ever hear anybody say a bad word about the guy?
No.
All his teammates loved him. That says a lot to me. So we're gonna go through quick. I have a few names. You and I, we get our Cooperstown votes. They've been watching our program. They said, you know what, Kareem and Jonathan, we're giving you guys Cooperstown votes. You're gonna get to vote. So we got the ballot. You ready? We got the ballot, and we decide Hall of Famer, not Hall of Famer. Ready? Ichiro Suzuki.
Yes. Hall of
Yes.
Fame.
And whoever does not vote for him, if he doesn't get 100%, I want them to lose their vote. Do we agree on that?
Absolutely.
It is obscene to not vote for him. I know some people say I don't want him to be on a first. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is one of the greatest of all time, for sure.
Yep.
Dustin Pedroia.
No.
No, agree. It's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good.
Yes.
It's just not enough. I'm sorry. I know injuries, what be it, but Nomar Garcia Pera. To me, Nomar's not in the Hall of Fame. Dustin in the Hall of Fame. That's my comparable.
Yep.
Hanley Ramirez.
No.
He won't survive the first ballot. I love you, Hanley, by the way. I got you on my fantasy team. The second you broke out with the Marlins with Dan Ugla, we had a good time. We won a championship that year, but no. Felix Hernandez, King Felix.
Difficult. I need to see how many wins he got on his career, but I mean, it's still an iffy. Not on the first year.
He's getting my vote. He's played his whole career there.
In
I get
Seattle,
he
yes.
had some strong teams, some not strong teams.
Got a perfect game. I mean, he has a lot of stuff.
Felix Hernandez in his prime, any major league teams takes him in the second. He's an ace. I've considering the state of pitching now, any pitcher pitches what he did would be a Hall of Famer. So I would say yes, and he was very underappreciated for how good he was. This one is contentious, and I don't know why. CC Sabathia.
Yes. Only because he was with the Yankees for so long in Cleveland, got a couple Cy Youngs, got all the wins for the left-handers, which they checked lefties and righties different. I don't know why, but anyway.
All day, every day. CC Sabathia is a Hall of Famer. One of the greatest lefties of all time. Pitched in big, big moments. The guy was just durable, trustworthy, fantastic ambassador for the game. This guy's a Hall of Famer all day, every day. I don't understand anything otherwise. CC Sabathia now in his prime is also an ace anywhere. And if you
Yes.
have to give me a choice between handing the ball to Felix Hernandez or CC Sabathia, that's tough. That's how good both of them were.
I play with Cici, so I know.
He's good, eh?
Yes, he was very good.
And fun guy.
Yes, too. That too.
We'll run these guys quickly. Gary Sheffield.
No.
Sorry, Gary. No. I all the other guys aren't getting in. You're not getting in. Sorry. Andrew Jones.
Yes.
No.
Yep. Okay.
It's funny. The numbers are there. The
Gold
bat, the
glove,
glove,
All-Stars, everything.
but he dropped off of a cliff big time at the end, and they're never gonna forget that, unfortunately. So for me, I'm sorry. I'd like to, but no. But I think he should be in over Scott Rowland. But that's another discussion. Carlos Beltran.
No.
No. He had one amazing series in the playoffs. That's what I'll remember. Andy Pettit.
It should have been a long time ago.
Agreed. Agreed. He's a Hall of Famer in every sense. It's just so silly. Like give the man his
It's due. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm putting him in as a Yankee or as an Astro. He was so good with both. Chase Utley.
No.
Yes. Because of
Okay.
the position.
Uh-huh.
Because he is one of the best second
It's-
basemen. I'm going to give him because it's second base, but it was tough. Last one. Bobby Abreu.
No. Sorry for Bobby. I like the guy, play against him. Venezuelan guy, but no.
You know who convinced me? Yes?
Mm.
Steve Carsey. I'll tell you why. You put Bobby Abreu's numbers to Tony Gwynn's
Mhm.
and interchange the walks and the hits.
He's pretty close. I know. He
He
walked
is
a lot. Bobby walked 100 times a year. I know his career. I follow him.
Bobby Abreu and Tony Gwynn, the only difference is the hits and the walks, but otherwise they're pretty similar player. And we agree Tony Gwynn is a complete Hall of Famer. I think Bobby Abreu was very underappreciated for what he was. He bounced around with a lot of teams. He's not going to go in, but in my heart, Bobby, you are a Hall of Famer. I'm convinced. It's gonna be very interesting. But the one thing I'm gonna say again is Ichiro Suzuki, and it'll be interesting if he gets the 100% threshold or not. This is where we're at in society. I think he's gonna get it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And you know, by the way, he's still going. He's still coaching.
Yeah,
And in his at his age, he can still hit jacks. I didn't know this, but he's apparently got a ton of power. Like he had a slap style hitting, but Ichiro Suzuki apparently is one of the strongest hitters, like power wise, out there. And
yeah, I
still,
got to see him and take him batting practice, and he will hit like 15 out of 20, home runs in batting practice
so why did he not focus on being a power hitter then?
because his coach or manager, Mr. Ogie with the Buffalo Oryx, told him to hit the ball down and start running. That was the way that he was going to make it. So that was his style, not because he didn't want to.
He was a Japanese Pete Rose, was he not?
Yes,
Pretty
absolutely.
much. God rest his soul, Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing, amazing episode. Again, congratulations to Mr. Hall of Fame, Caribbean Hall of Famer Karim Garcia. And congratulations to us. You know, we could successfully completed 143 chapters. And this really was a docu-series. You know, we followed Steve Carsey's career, followed your career, Karim Garcia, and we wrapped up the docu-series really nicely. But we'll be back in the new year and talking more baseball and seeing our predictions and going into the season. So you haven't heard The Last of Us, we'll be back.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned. This was the Chosen Baseball Journey.